Tandon, firstly, can you tell me a little about more sovereign AI, how you introduced it, how it evolved over the time? Can you tell me a little more about that?
See, as you look at the global landscape, the idea that a country or a region should have full control on its data has been there for a long time. So, data centers, repositories, everything have been set up within the boundaries of a country. Now, with AI coming in, that data needs to be exposed to AI. And if those AI engines are sitting in another country across a boundary, your ability to provide a sovereign environment doesn't exist. So if you want the country's data, India's information, whether it is defense, whether it is population, whether it is health, to get exposed to AI, you need to bring AI to the data rather than take data to AI.
Right.
And that's the whole move of getting into a sovereign AI environment. And this is not just India, it's across the globe. Everybody is very clear that that's what needs to get done.
Okay. Now, can you tell me how the enterprise and the government interpretations are different of this sovereign cloud, and how are they differing by regulatory, geopolitical, or the operational context?
See, one of the things that is happening now is over the last 10, 15 years, we said everybody moved from on-prem to the cloud. Now it's becoming a hybrid environment. The hybrid environment means that based on what is work you need to do and what data it is, you will have some of your data on-prem, some of it will be on the cloud, and some of it will be co-located with a partner, which might not be owned by you, but it might be within the same region, right? Governments will choose a different level of that hybrid structure. Corporates will choose a different level. Some of the regulated industries like banking, life sciences, healthcare will have to keep everything within on-prem. A lot of data centers today for banks, etc., exist within their control, direct control. So they will tend to be a little more in that side versus governments will have some flexibility on the kind of work that they're doing. So it's going to be a range of stuff.
Okay, that's actually quite interesting to hear. Now, how do you see? I mean, what are the scope and components of this sovereign infrastructure across compute, networking, storage, and orchestration layers?
So now we are talking about this as a 5-layer cake. Okay, the top layer is actually the use cases, etc., that you do. The second layer is all the software, the platforms that you use to build those use cases, to build those agentic solutions. The layer below that is some of the orchestration pieces, which is how do you manage the infrastructure? How do you optimize it? Because GPUs, data centers, etc., are all very expensive. So you have a layer of software which is used to optimize and manage it. Below that comes the infrastructure, all the GPUs, CPUs, TPUs, all the 3-letter acronyms. And then, very important layer under that is the whole energy, cooling, and all the power that is required. Because all of these data centers need a huge amount of power, right, to keep running. So that's the 5-layer case. That's what we go after.
Okay, last two questions for you. One is can you tell me about the economic and strategic considerations in building versus partnering for national and regional AI infrastructure?
So from an infrastructure perspective, we've done some very detailed calculations on at what level of tokens does it make sense for a corporate to start looking at having its own data center. Now, you put that as one variable. If anyway you need to have PII and things that you cannot expose to the external world, you will still need to do it in-house, regardless of the economics. And then the third is the political consideration that you don't want that data to go out of the country. Obviously, defense stuff you don't want to go out, or the government stuff you want to go out. And some of the state governments don't want some of their information to go out, right? So all of that combined together helps you figure out what I mentioned earlier, how your data and how your AI compute capability should be in the hybrid world, which is what the future is going to be.
Lovely. Now, when we talk about the interdependencies between sovereign cloud, sovereign infrastructure, sovereign models, because our base is right now on sovereign AI.
Correct.
Now, what are the interdependencies between them, and how does AI factories in end-to-end AI deployment strategies?
Yeah, so AI factory is kind of the 5-layer cake that I talked about. That's the complete AI factory. Um, you cannot have one company build out that AI factory. You're talking about interdependence. You need the GPUs from an NVIDIA, you need the CPUs, you need from other companies, you need the software from 10 different companies. You need the three hyperscalers to be a part of it. You need local language models. I mean, in India, let's say 8% of the people are fluent in English. You can't just paste the global language models and expect them to work here. You need local models which speak the local languages, the local dialects for you to be able to penetrate. This entire ecosystem from energy to hardware to cooling to software and systems integrators and consultants have to come together to be able to provide that. It's an interdependence we've never seen before. You can't have just one player go out there and run with it and make this happen.
Lovely. And my actually the last question: what are your key takeaways from this summit? Like, what do you think is how will Deloitte get into it? You being the global AI leader.
So Deloitte's already pushing it, and being extremely successful across the globe as well as in India, because we've taken our responsibility to first educate and then help, and then the third would be hopefully sell, right? And that has worked out very well because we've helped clients and potential clients move from understanding to actually buying. A forum like this helps us showcase to a much larger group of people what's the possibility, plus the ability to be here with all the things that we built, which are real. For people who keep saying, "Oh, is this AI thing real?" To be able to showcase them here, and most important, for them to be talked about not by somebody like me who's sitting, somewhere else, by people who've actually built it and implemented it for a client. That just is the next level of energy and the next level of proving that we're here to help you. This is real, and you can adopt it, and you can succeed with it.
Okay. My last follow-up question on this: that we have it is said that this is the decade for India. Every company, every organization, India has become a very important market.
Yes.
How do you see India being a part with Deloitte? How do you see AI implementation in the next maybe 2 years?
AI implementation in India?
Yeah.
I'd say that there's going to be a huge amount of adoption of AI within India. We already saw how when the mobile phones came in, we've got the maximum number of usage of mobile data. It's a natural next level progression that data will be exposed to AI, and it's going to be widespread. It's a question of how quickly can we get the resources, the infrastructure, and the funding to make it happen here. And not just here, we're going to be the people who show the rest of the region how it's done. So with a forum like this, we are now recognized as somebody who doesn't need an invitation. We are already there. We are a part of that larger global ecosystem of AI leaders as a country.
Launched Pragya. What is the vision behind it? If you can tell us a little more about what is Pragya?
Sure, thanks, Rima. So Tax Pragya is actually Deloitte India's AI-powered tax research and insights platform. The journey actually started about 18 months ago when we actually took a bold step of trying to automate, trying to make the tax research a lot more intelligent, available to almost everybody in our tax team, and also trying to make it available for our clients, right? So this is a platform that we have built on the basis of a very deeply trained LLM, which has $1.2 million data sources, case laws, etc. And on the top of it, we have put out a very strong layer of the Deloitte knowledge solution. What it does, therefore, is that it converts hours and hours of the tax research time into seconds, for that matter. So it's a very fast speed to the tax research and insights. And more importantly, the output of the research is absolutely authentic, and therefore it's far more reliable from a content perspective.
Now, many AI research tools does exist today. How is Tax Pragya meaningfully different from other AI-driven legal or tax platforms?
So very, very important question. As Sumit also said, we started this journey about 18 months back, And one of the first thing that we heard our tax practitioners say, while a lot of research tools are available, OpenAI, everything is available, but it has got a few problems. One, hallucination. Many a times it will make up cases that has not even exist. It will tell you something versus something has given this kind, and it will give you the entire judgment also. So they can't use this reliably. So the first thing that we in your tax Pragya wanted to solve for was this fact that it will not hallucinate. So we have got to a 99.9% zero hallucination. That's a huge achievement. The second piece, if I can just add, you would have heard stories around a lot of AI tools are only till a POC stage and it has never seen the light at the end of the tunnel. If some studies are to believe, about 90% of such just remains there. Our first thing was to build it in an architecture in a nicer manner, in a manner that can be scaled up.
Yeah.
Today, this is out for 10,000 clients and 4,000 internal people. The entire thing is built in a manner that it can be scaled up. So these are two main differences. There are many more. Happy to discuss more.
And if I can add to what Deva said, we've also made it very modular, right? So this is right now a very strong, powerful tax research and insights platform, but it will have more and more agency and utility coming forward, right? As we go ahead, what we are looking ahead is we'll develop this tool to have a ability to do the writing the tax opinion. It will have ability to do the tax responses to the tax notices that the client face, right? And we will also similarly, we are trying to modernize number of our tax asset that we have even as Deloitte already. There will be an ecosystem kind of a situation that we will create where all of our tax automation tool and tax tech tool can come into one platform, and Tax Pragya can serve as the frontier for that innovation, right? And for that revolution. As I'm seeing the adoption, like Deba said, only last month or December last year, we have launched this for our client markets. As of today, the access has already been given to 10,000 plus clients. Our goal is in next few months, if not weeks, we should be able to accelerate the adoption amongst our clients. And once that happens, then we will focus more on building more and more utilities and agencies of this platform. So it's a truly, I would say, well-defined glide path we have to really accelerate this adoption in a manner that Tax Pragya becomes a go-to platform for anyone in the country needing a tax research and authentic insights. And I can add one in the right forward that it's truly made in India, made for India tax research platform.
Okay. Now, Debashish, you spoke about AI hallucination.
Yes.
Now, how does Tax Pragya ensure accuracy, reliability, and data security at the same time?
Now you're asking for our IP. That's very hard to share. However, the way the architecture has been defined is it is completely relying on curated data. It is relying on data that Deloitte has confirmed that these are the authentic information to be put forward. These are the kind of interpretations. These are the kind of judgments that has come out. So that's one piece, big piece. Second, we have used at least 3 layers of guardrails so that there is like this bot that gives you an answer. There is a supervisor bot that comes and checks and red lines and say this doesn't look right and changes it. So there are 3 different levels of guardrails that we have built to make sure that is taken care of from an hallucination perspective. And close to about 18 months now that people are using, we have not heard of any one single case where it said that it created a judgment of its own.
Yeah.
Okay, so many people has been sort of using it. There might be like almost like a human being. There might be cases where it says, oh, it interpreted it like this, but I would have interpreted like that. Those are okay, but it is not making up a case of its own. So that's the most important thing, in the hallucination piece. That and if I may, sorry, I think you were saying the same thing. If I may, it is humble enough to many a times accept that I don't know this answer. So you will find this like most of the LLMs are so tuned to always give an answer no matter what you ask, right? So that's the problem there. But we have really solved for it, because if the supervisor bot, as I said, it comes in and it says, sorry, I don't feel good about it. It comes back and says, sorry, I don't have this answer, as opposed to saying a answer that may not be accurate or creating something as well.
Just to add a couple of more bits to it, I guess from a vision perspective, what we wanted to build was really a responsible, secure and authentic platform. And I'm glad to say, as we did a national client market launch, and I'm happy to say it's a global launch of Tax Pragya truly today, This is truly, perhaps to my mind, the only most secure tax research and insights platform that we have in the country today. And the reason I say that is because we have built this on a model where it does not talk externally into an environment where there is a risk of hallucination. As Deva said, the engine is humble enough to tell you, I don't know the answer if that's a possibility, but otherwise it's not going to give you an inaccurate, unauthentic answer, right? And I don't know how many, or if there's even a competing platform that exists which creates that kind of a reliability. On the security part, if I talk about a bit more, we have made sure that this engine, which is Deloitte platform, that does not train at the cost of the queries, right? So if my client is interacting on the Tax Pragya platform, we had made sure that any query or the set of query that client is sort of ingesting, that doesn't go to train this on its own, right? And that question or the set of questions do not leak into the public environment, right? So that was very important to us as Deloitte, given the responsibility we carry for the client's research and the client's activities, and that was super powerful. I would say vision statement for us as we are developing this.
Yeah, that last piece is a very, very important. Just one minute on that. The entire training and modeling is happening with our internal users.
Yeah.
We have got super users, we have got all that, so that it is a structure that we are following on how it will get trained. As opposed to most of the tools that is out there, client says something that gets trained on that information and therefore that becomes public. Our tool erases everything the moment you have put things and you have moved out, it erases every history of yours. So that's a very important piece that you just mentioned.
And my last question, now can you elaborate on how this translates into business impact for organizations?
I mean, great question. I love that question. So if you come to think of it, we got, like I said, 9,000 plus tax clients in Deloitte India. And what we are trying to do is that we are first of all allowing the full access of Tax Pragya to all our tax clients, not only tax clients, to all our firm clients, right? That's very powerful. From here, the journey is really, the next step is that we want all of those clients, 10,000 plus clients, to start using this on a daily basis. We are tracking the usage. We are very encouraged by the response we have. We have not made a look-alike product or look-alike platform like we have many existing in the market, but we are very confident of having built something which is, like I said, authentic, secure, and reliable. And we do know that our clients will love interacting with this on a daily basis. From a business impact perspective, our vision has been very simple. We want to transform the experience of our own users internally when they are trying to do the tax research. It should look like they are doing the tax research in an environment where the new technology is aiding them. If you ask me, when I started my career 20 years ago, if my associate today does the tax research exactly in the same manner as I did the tax research, that's not a transformation. Our first goal is to make sure that our people, our team, is able to do the research using the new technologies. Similarly, we want our tax client, we want our clients to actually experience that transformation. We are also helping the client to build this transformation into their own organization. So that's truly the business impact part to me. It's not so much about how much additional revenue we'll make out of it. We will certainly make more revenues. The whole objective is to commercialize this. But the end goal of this is to transform the experience of our own people as well as the client as they experience tax services on a daily basis. It should and it must look like they are using the tax services in a globalized, technologically savvy environment, not an environment which was manually as sort of we know from the past.
So we absolutely believe if we do it right, then money will follow. That's what he just highlighted. And there are 2-3 ways. So right now, if I could draw an analogy, Pragya is like a junior staff that our clients could take, right? Slowly and steadily, we absolutely believe that this will become a mid-level staff. To some time, it will become like a senior staff. The big part of that is completely built by us indigenously, meaning in India by Indian people. So therefore, any scale up that we need to do, so this could become from let's say tax to accounting and finance and everything else, that is a possibility.
Yeah.
Right? This going from tax to, let's say, supply chain and other areas, that is a possibility as well. So we do see a huge lot of models, but we started with what matters the most, which is our tax businesses here right now.
Lovely. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.